Proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids are three basic types of organic compounds contained in living matter. Why are proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids called organic compounds? Compounds are divided to organic and inorganic. Organic compounds contain carbon as a constituent element, and inorganic compounds do not contain carbon as a constituent element. But there are some exceptions for this. Carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, bicarbonate, and carbonate. Even if they have carbon as a constituent element, they are considered as inorganic compounds. Proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids, all three of them have carbon. Therefore, we call them as organic compounds. Next question. State two elements that may be contained in proteins but not contained in lipids. Protein constituent elements are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sometimes sulfur. Lipids contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So you can see that proteins have two extra elements, that's nitrogen and sulfur. So the two elements that are not present in lipids is nitrogen and sulfur. You can write it in symbol form or you can write it in the long form. Next question, name the structural unit of proteins. Protein is a polymer. Every polymer is made up of structural units called monomers. So the protein is made up of the monomer called amino acids. So the answer is amino acids. Fourth question, state a common function of the compounds proteins and lipids. Both proteins and lipids, they act as an energy source in our body, And both of them produce hormones. These are two functions which are common to both of them. Fifth question, there are two major types of nucleic acids. One of them is DNA, and what is the other type? Other type is RNA. It can be written this way, or you can write it in the long form as ribonucleic acids. Sixth question, in a living cell, name the organelle that contains DNA. DNA is present in the nucleus of cells. It is also present in the mitochondria and chloroplast. But better if you can say nucleus. Nucleus is the main organelle that contains DNA, so you can say nucleus. Seventh question, explain how the genotype of an organism is changed in gene technology. In gene technology, what mainly happens is altering of the genes. How do they alter it? Genes are altered by removing DNA or introducing new DNA to the genes. Removing DNA or by introducing DNA to the genes. Eighth question, name the species of microorganisms used to produce insulin by means of gene technology. The microorganism that is used in producing insulin is E. coli. You have to underline this as this is a scientific name. Ninth question, it is required to verify that a crime was committed by the suspect of that crime using a sample of hair collected from the site of that crime. State how gene technology is used for it. Okay, so the first step that you have to do is collect the hair from the site of crime and from the suspect. Collect hair from site of crime and from the suspect. And then extract DNA from the samples. And next You need to make copies of this DNA, make copies of DNA and create a profile. Finally, you need to compare both the profiles and see if they are similar. If it is similar, then the suspect has committed the crime, and if there are differences in the gene sequences, the DNA sequences, then this person has not. Now, when you're writing the answer for this, you can make it short because you get only 1 mark for this. You can say by collecting the hair samples from the suspect and the place of crime, and then extracting the DNA of it and comparing the DNA sequences to see if they are similar. If they are similar, that means the suspect has committed the crime. That's how you can write the answer for the last question.